Hi there, I'm Nancy Nash with Starfish Strength, and today I want to help you feel your best. Whether it's work, play, or too much stress, we all get tight shoulders from time to time. So today, I want to give you 3 ways to roll your shoulders to get you back to feeling your best. So for our demonstration today, we just need a ball and a free spot on your wall. So we're going to use a tennis-sized ball. An actual tennis ball would work great. You could use a lacrosse ball. I'm going to use one of my favorite cork balls. And then as far as a free spot on your wall, you just need enough space for your shoulders. And then if you have access to a doorway, that would be really great too. So to be honest, I didn't try cork as a rolling material until a couple years ago, and I had no idea what I was missing. I'm going to actually use the Equanimous cork balls for my demonstration today, and I'll leave a link below if you'd like to get your own set. Shelby, do you have a couple words for us before we get started?
Starfish Strength Inc. recommends that you consult your healthcare professional before beginning any exercise program. This content is intended for informational purposes and should not be used to self-diagnose or self-treat any health, medical, or physical condition.
Thanks, Shelby. So we're going to try to bring relief to the major muscles that are contributing to your shoulder discomfort. So before we get started, try a quick experiment with me. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders and just let your arms hang down toward your sides. Now I want you to look at your hands. Are your thumbs facing straight forward? Are they turned in? Or are your palms facing forward? So correct anatomical position. My thumb should be facing straight forward. If you look at one of those beautiful little Anatomy Man posters, you can see that his thumbs are facing straight forward, his pinkies are facing straight back, and his palms pretty much face each other. Most of us are standing in some version of thumbs turned in. Some of us just a little bit, some of us a lot. We're going to try to bring you back to this neutral position. So the first area we're going to roll is the pec minor. So that's right here, right on top of the pec muscles. And it does tend to get tight whether I've been hunched over a computer, hunched over driving. I might not have even realized how I'm hunching over. I realized that sometimes I pour my coffee like this. So there's a number of ways these muscles can get tight. The first thing we're going to do is face the palm forward. So facing the palm forward, make sure that this muscle is exposed so I don't have it covered up by my shoulder. And then I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to just gently roll it in a circle. And then if I can do 2 things at the same time, I'm going to raise and lower the arm. You can also alternate these things. You can roll and then pause and then move the arm. But basically the goal of raising and lowering the arm is that we're shortening and lengthening the muscle. So we're getting some dynamic stretching in with our rolling to really maximize the benefits of this, really get the blood flowing, really get those tight tissues a little bit looser. But I'm going to show you an easier way to do this. So one way to make this a little bit easier is to brace the ball against a doorway. So I'm going to put the ball right here between the doorway and my pec minor. And I'm going to look for not the most tender spot, but if you find that really tender spot, you want to go a 1/2 inch to 1 inch away from it. So play around with it just a little bit, finding a spot where you can get a really good range of motion. Raising and lowering the arm, remembering that this is just dynamically stretching that muscle. So this should really bring some relief bring me out of that forward rounded position that I might have found myself in when I was driving, when I was typing, doing all the other things I have to do during the day. I would recommend doing that 30 to 60 seconds on each side before moving on. The second area we're going to roll is called the serratus anterior. We are going to hit the lats and a couple other muscles, but just oversimplifying for a moment here, the serratus anterior kind of looks like if I took my palm and covered underneath my armpits. I'm going to be honest, this is a little uncomfortable, but this will really free up the movement in your shoulders. There's a couple ways I can do this. If I'm a really flexible person and I don't have shoulder pain and I can raise my arm easily, you can actually put your elbow on the wall for this. And I'm going to try to aim not so much straight under my armpit, but just behind it. So if you have a shirt seam, this might kind of help to go an inch or two behind that. So again, if you're flexible, you can put the arm overhead and you can either roll yourself forward and back, kind of like I'm a hot dog stuck in the 7-Eleven hot dog machine, or you can roll your body side to side. So just really rocking your body side to side. Or you can pause in place and you can reach your arm up and pull down. So I'm reaching through the shoulder and then shrugging down. So all three of these things, this is me shortening and lengthening muscle here again, isn't it? And then going back and forth, that's just me massaging the muscle. Try a combination of those things. Try moving the ball a couple times and see what works best for you. But if you're not a flexible person, the way I would recommend doing this is to actually take your hand and put it on the other shoulder and then just expose that area for yourself. Even as a flexible person, sometimes this just feels better because then you're letting your shoulder relax. Now, if I still want to get that shortening and lengthening, I can still do that here. I can lift and lower my elbow. So kind of like a chicken wing. So just trying to get a little motion in the muscle while I'm rolling it. And before you do the other side, I would suggest moving your shoulder around because I know that was uncomfortable and I want you to see that it actually is worth it. So try reaching forward, pulling back, reaching up and pulling back down. And I guarantee you're going to notice a difference left to right. So the third area we're going to roll is the upper traps. And we definitely save the best for last. This is the area that if someone's giving me a shoulder rub, usually I want them to apply a little bit more pressure. So this is the area right above the shoulder blade. So if you can kind of feel the shoulder blade, that bone at the top, and then you go a little bit above that, you can find sort of almost a triangle shape up there. And we're going to stay off the spine, not because we cause any damage rolling it with the ball, but it's just not really going to be super beneficial. It's not going to feel really comfortable. We'll have a different rolling video for that. So finding a position where this feels like a good pressure, you'll want to walk your feet forward a foot or a foot and a half, depending on your height. And then once you have found that point of leverage, if you have the flexibility, again, go ahead and position your head against the wall. If you don't, a rolled up towel might be a good idea behind your head because you do want to get your neck muscles in a relaxed position to maximize the benefit of this. And then I'm also going to have you face your palms forward. So by facing the palms forward, this should feel like a good stretch for the chest kind of simultaneously. And we're undoing that forward rounded shoulder position that we talked about earlier. Next, I'm going to introduce a little bit of dynamic motion into this. So I'm going to raise and lower the arm, and then thinking about how those muscles are shortening and lengthening, I might want to reposition the ball a little bit to find a more effective spot, find something that feels a little tighter. And then the other thing it can do is turn my head away from the direction that I'm raising the arm. So now I should get a good stretch up the neck as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found something today that you can use to seize your inner star. I'd love to hear how this went for you in the comments below. If you have other questions or topics you'd like me to cover, let me know that too. We'll see you on the next video. You might have heard of the famous pec muscles. Yeah, they're super famous, you idiot. Who says that?